Hi VC, this is Aaron, Mutha Elamir, and today I'm doing the third part of my thread response from Dan over at Dots and Loops with his Show Me Your Tapes, and I'll finish it in one more. I'll have 4 parts. So these two last ones might be a little longer, but I better get through it. So first up, got some LA Guns, great album. Had this since it came out, killer stuff. I used to have a bunch of theirs, but sadly that's my only one I have left. Then this is Very Beat Up, but Lie to Me by Jonny Lang. Jonny Lang's my favorite blues artist, kind of blues rock, killer stuff. He was 15 when he made this record. Killer album. And this is one of my very favorites he did, Wander This World. My second favorite Jonny Lang record. Amazing stuff. Killer album. And we got The Last Action Hero soundtrack, which had a really good soundtrack, actually. A lot of these movies around the 80s, late 80s, early 90s had killer, it's got Big Gun from AC/DC, What the Hell Have I from Alice in Chains, Angry Again from Megadeth, Real World from Queensryche, Two Steps Behind Def Leppard, Poison My Eyes from Anthrax, that's killer, Dream On from Aerosmith, Little Bitter, Alice in Chains, and Last Action Hero from Tesla, a couple others, but killer stuff on this. And here's a really good band. I used to have a couple albums of theirs, so this is the only one I have left. It's Law and Order. Pretty good band. Rites of Passage. Probably their second or third album. I used to have their one before this too. That was really good. And then I've got some Led Zeppelin 2. Some Led Zeppelin 4, some Houses of the Holy, and some Physical Graffiti. Song Remains the Same, double cassette, really good, and of course it's a great live album. And In Through the Outdoor, can't take the paper off that one. And then I've got some John Lennon with Mind Games. And this is one of those Korean ones I was buying. It's the best of, but Korean tape. And another Korean one. This is just John Lennon. It's just another like best of. And there's the back and the cassette. Pretty close to the same one as that last one. And some John Lennon and Yoko Ono with Double Fantasy. And Milk and Honey, which is Korean. And there's the cassette on this one. And up next I got a really great one. This is a killer album. This is Lillian Axe with Love and War. My favorite Lillian Axe. It's their second album. Me and my friends played this so much when it was out. Driving around, having a beer. Killer stuff. Great album. Love this one. Every song on it's good. I like Lillian Axe quite a bit. Some Loverboy debut. Really great one here. Lost Boys, Lost and Found. Randy O, the singer, from previously from Odin. Great album. Love Lost Boys. I have that on vinyl as well. And I had it on CD, but I sent mine off to Cosmic Brian. Love Hate, Blackout in the Red Room. Amazing cassette. Had this since it came out. I saw them open up for Dio on the Lock Up the Wolves tour, and they were killer stuff. And then I got this sampler, which is kind of stupid because it has partial songs, but I just kept it because it's Love Hate, and you don't see this. Has a little bit of Blackout in the Red Room, Why Do You Think They Call It Dope, and She's an Angel. All killer songs. Wasted in America. Amazing album from Love Hate. Their follow-up. I used to have Let's Rumble. I don't have that anymore. I really miss that album. I like that one a lot too. And here's a really cool one. This is Malfunction. That's Andrew Wood from Mother Love Bone's band before Mother Love Bone. There's a cassette. Very experimental, killer stuff. If you know Andrew Wood at all, it's really good. It's Malfunction. And I've got some Fighting the World, my favorite Manowar. Love this one. I like all of Manowar's albums, though. They're all killer. This is the only one I have on cassette anymore. I used to have a bunch. And Tug of War from Paul McCartney. Got some Believe in Me from Duff McKagan. Really cool album. Solo record from Duff. One of the top Guns N' Roses solo records, McQueen Street. Really killer. It's the only form I have this on this cassette. Killer album. Love this one. Some original Killing Is My Business and Business Is Good. Love Megadeth. It's one of the best. I love this version of this. Really raw sounding. I like the remix. I have that on the on vinyl, how they remix it, and that's really good as well. But there's just something just unique about this one. I really love this album. That's one of my grails on vinyl to get this version. Some So Far So Good So What. Of course, I used to have Peace Cells. I used to have every one of them, but they've been lost through the years. Some oh, this one should have been next actually. Anarchy in the UK single with Black Friday and Devil's Island live. So that's pretty cool. Rust in Peace, amazing record. One of the best metal records of all time there. Some Countdown to Extinction, another really killer one. Can't tell you how many times I listened to this when it came out. Wow, just over and over. I've got some Ride the Lightning. Amazing, of course. 598 EP. So I first heard this was on this cassette right here. I love this album. One of the best cover albums of all time there. And Justice for All. Of course, that's a great one too. Got some Eddie Money. Here's a really cool one. This is Monster Magnet with Power Trip. Love this album. I haven't heard this for a while. This is Space Lord. I love that. And Crop Circle. Yeah. This album's really good. I love this album. Monster Magnet. Speaking of Andrew Wood, here's some Mother Love Bone with Apple. Really killer one too. Some Motley Crue with Too Fast for Love. Theater of Pain. Another really good one. Girls, Girls, Girls. I've had a million copies of Shout of the Devil, but I don't have that anymore. Primal Scream single with Dancing on Glass. Self-Titled with John Corabi. Love this album. One of the most underrated metal albums of all time. This is killer. And I've even got some Generation Swine, which I didn't like much when it came out, but it's really grown on me. I actually really like this one now. And I've always liked this one. This is a New Tattoo, Motley Crue. Really good, underrated record here too. I like this one a lot. I need to find this on vinyl, but it's kind of hard to find and real pricey when you do see it. Here's a great one. This is My Little Fun House, Stand Under. This is a big party album for me and my friends when this was out. We listened to this partying all the time. Great, uplifting, bluesy, metal, rock, pop, whatever you want to call it. It's a killer album. Here's a really cool grunge album. This is My Sister's Machine with Diva. Love this album. It's one of those grunge bands that wasn't quite well as known. I used to have their follow-up on CD, but I don't think I have that anymore, and it was good too. But this one's really good. Some Hair of the Dog from Nazareth. Of course, that's a classic. And here's one of my favorites. This is Nonfiction Within the Know. Great album that nobody really knows about. Very few people know this band, but Nonfiction was amazing. They're kind of remind me a little bit of like the Trouble self-titled record, but a little space rock mixed in. Really killer stuff. Progressive at times. Kind of at times the singer sounds like the singer from Cirith Ungol. Other times he sounds a little like Jeff Tate. Really great band. I love Nonfiction. They're kind of alternative metal, kind of progressive. Really good. Killer album. And here's another good one. This is a bluesy one. This is Outlaw Blood. I used to listen to this a lot too. Really good album. I haven't heard this forever. But that's a great record. I love Outlaw Blood. Need to find that on vinyl as well. And The Outfield with Play Deep. Got some Bark at the Moon. And Tribute. That's a great one. And No Rest for the Wicked, another killer album. I love that. That's my last Ozzy one I thought that was amazing. And then after that, I've liked his albums, but this is my last one I really love by Ozzy. And then I got my favorite Pearl Jam, Versus. Love this album. Like it much better than 10. I like it better than Vitology. This has always been my favorite Pearl Jam. The Final Cut from Pink Floyd. It's my only Floyd I have on cassette. Synchronicities, My Only Police. A lot of these that aren't metal are ones I've just been picking up lately. All the metal ones are ones I've had. The hard rock, the any kind of metal are ones I've had since they came out. Open Up and Say Ah, probably my least favorite Poison album. It's all right. Flesh and Blood, I prefer this one and their first one over that one. And there's the Best of Poison. That's a pretty good compilation there. If you're in the mood for them, I have to be in the mood for Poison. They're, I like them sometimes, but other times it's just a little too much for me. This is the Poor Boys, Brand New America, and Hey Man. It's a single. I've never even opened it. If anyone knows them, let me know. I wish I still had. There was an band called The Poor, who I used to have. I wish I still had that. Had a song called More Wine, Waiter, Please. I'm always looking for a copy of that on any format. If anyone knows where to find one, let me know. Pretty Boy Floyd, Leather Boys with Electric Toys. Pretty good. This is a compilation called The Pride of Portland. It's my hometown. I live in Idaho, but I'm from Portland, so I pick up anything I can find that's Portland. And the most known things on here is New Shoes and the New Shoes song. But I heard that New Shoes song that became that big hit. What was that called? I Can't Wait. And it sounded a lot different before it became a single. They really electronized, made it more electric sounding. Not electric, more keyboard sounding and not as raw, kind of weird. It's got Sean Colvin, a few good artists. Didn't have Black and Blue or anyone like that, but then I got the Queensryche debut EP, Killer thing. That's a great album. And this is my favorite Queensryche, Rage for Order. Love this one. I like all their stuff up to Empire though a lot, and then their stuff after is hit and miss with me. But I'm a big Queensryche fan. Some Metal Health, one of my first cassette I ever owned, right here. That's what got me into cassettes. And this one here is a pretty good one. This is Terrified by Quiet Riot. I think this would have came out after their self-titled one with Paul Sortino, and this album is killer. It's one of their very best albums they ever did. It's really good. Itchy Coo Park, that's really cool. Cold Day in Hell, Loaded Gun, Dirty Lover, Rude Crude Mood. This is a killer album. If you haven't heard this Quiet Riot, look it up. Terrified. It's really good. Some Out of the Cellar, of course. And some Invasion of Your Privacy. A big Route fan. Reach for the Sky. Another one of my grails on vinyl. Detonator. Only got it on cassette. That's a great one. And then I got some Crazy from the Heat from David Lee Roth. Eat 'em and Smile. Everyone knows these. Skyscraper. 3 great ones there. And then my favorite, Little Ain't Enough. See how beat up that is? I listen to this so much. And then The Best. This is a good compilation. And this album is very underrated. This is DLR Band. Killer album here. I love this album. Slam Dunk. Every song's good on this. Weekend with the Babysitter is great. Every song. Relentless. Going Places. This is a killer album. DLR. David Lee Roth Band. Killer. Then one of my favorite bands that's kind of overlooked a lot, Rough Cut. Love this album. Paul Sortino's a great singer. This album I've loved since this album was out. It's always been one of my favorites. I think it's very underrated. Killer stuff. They have the best version of Piece of My Heart I think I've ever heard on this. I usually don't care for that song being redone, but it's really good on this. Taker. This is just an amazing record. And then their follow-up, Rough Cut Wants You. Another amazing one. I love this one too. This is slightly heavier, but I like the first one slightly better. They're both really good. And to close out this section, I will go with Rocks Gang, things you've never done before. I remember I bought this as a blind buy when I was visiting my family in Portland. Walked over to the Music Millennium, bought this, and haven't stopped listening to it since. I love this album. sleaze metal at its finest, the Florida band Rocks Gang. Killer. All right, well, there goes that section, and I'll have one more to do. And all right, everyone, keep on rocking. Bye.